Ready Check Radio. What's up, Internet? It's Thursday, Final Max. It's 7 p.m. Eastern. That means here on Ready Check Radio, it's time for the Relic Grind, our Final Fantasy XIV Square Enix podcast. We got a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV. We got a little bit of Square Enix. We got a podcast. Let's go ahead and do it. I mean, a little slower week, so maybe a little shorter show than normal today, but we'll live. We'll get through it. We'll have some fun. And chat here joining us live, twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio, ready to chime in with their opinions as we go. If you're not here for pre-show live, you're missing out. You definitely need to come for pre-show. And then, of course, post-show leads into a new streamer, playing some games, hanging out. So always a good time. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Audible or Spotify or anything, thank you so much. I'm Mike Byrne, your host as always, a.k.a. Magic Man, and I appreciate you doing that. Give it a like, a subscribe, thumbs up, review, turn on those notifications, comment, all the stuff to feed the algorithms, of course. But if you like what we do here, most importantly, tell a friend. It's easy, it's fast, it's free, costs you nothing. Bring them by on live sometime. Joining me to talk about all the Square Enix goodness, Mr. Chris Montoya, a.k.a. Tarkoth. What's up, boss? Yeah, okay. I knew it was coming. Like, that was, like, the most telegraphed thing ever, I think.
If you were see here, the mouth move,
if you were here for pre-show, that was telegraphed. How are you, boss?
I'm doing all right, man. Greetings, programs. Dude, I'm almost done with Control. That game's sick.
By the way, there is now 30 seconds in this podcast that if you're listening to it on Audible or whatever, you are not going to get. Because there was there was a highly visual joke there from Tark just now that requires you be watching the video version to even remotely see. Yeah. Also on the line, feeling better this week, Mr. Paul Berlin, a.k.a. Flynn. What's up, boss? Glad you're feeling better.
Hi, folks. Yeah, so while Tark is gaining control, I lost control of my sleep cycle last week. Huge shout out to Travis for stepping in. Put on a brilliant show, you lot.
Yeah, Travis, very kind of him to step in, and we got to talk Final Fantasy trading card game and its limit break system coming in the new set next month. Anniversary kits are out, so if you haven't picked those up yet, and you're even experienced player, but especially a newer player, the anniversary kit is where it's at. If you need to catch up on cards, those anniversary kits are awesome, particularly the one that just came out last week. It's got Zack and Sephiroth, I believe, on the box. And the first one that had the Squall. It's not to say that the second one is bad, but there's more value as far as recouping some cards in that first one and in the most recent one. So definitely check those out if you're new to the game. Great way to get started. And we'd love to see you. The competitive season kicks off in a little over a month. Can't wait for it. But, gents, we don't have Final Fantasy trading card game news to talk about today. We've got 14 news. We've got 7 Rebirth news, 1 week away from 7 Rebirth's launch. So we'll get to all of it first. Let's start on the Final Fantasy XIV side of things. Just some housekeeping, right? Not a lot going on in the MMORPG right now. But the Final Fantasy XV crossover is headed back into Eorzea. So if you didn't do it or weren't playing last time this rolled around, or if for some reason you were but didn't finish it, you can pick up where you were, which is kind of neat, I guess. Starting on February 28th, that crossover will be back, and you can go ahead and get your regalia. I assume everybody on the panel is way done with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like first time out of the gate, get it done. And yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing new, right? It's one of those events that
it's just brought back popular demand. But luckily it coincides with the Moogle event this time, so getting the MGP is even faster than ever.
Yeah, and you could do the replay feature stuff, the event replay.
Yeah,
get Gru to fight again.
Yeah, if some of your friends need it. So, next week, 28th, go ahead and do it. The big news, of course, though, Tark, Final Fantasy XIV's Xbox beta is live.
Yes, it's
is
live, but
live.
I'm being told I shouldn't play it.
You absolutely
I
should
shouldn't.
not.
Yeah, which is sad.
We
'Cause
warned
I wanted to
everybody
try out
last
the
week.
Xbox I don't have.
We warned everybody last week. If you're an existing player, they really, really, really would like you to just stay the fuck away from the Xbox Final Fantasy XIV beta. Because obviously, like, there's account linking that you can do, but reminder, like, you can't unlink. So they don't want new accounts or existing accounts in there. In fact, Flynn, they're saying, we ask any players who wish to play Final Fantasy XIV on Xbox with an existing Square Enix account and its associated characters, please wait until the full Xbox launch after the open beta test concludes. To play on Xbox, you will need to link your Xbox and Square Enix account. You will not be able to unlink those accounts once linked. We ask that existing players please wait until the official release to link your Square Enix account to your Xbox account. So, I mean, if you really, really wanted to just see what the open beta is all about, you could spin up a new Square Enix account under an alternate email. I'm just saying, and then not link it to anything.
I may or may not have done that.
So how's it going? What do you think?
Right, I just want to see how it performed on my Series S compared to the PS5 compared to my PS.
Oh, so you have the S, not the X.
Yeah. I have the
Gotcha.
little white bar.
That-
Yeah.
It's my Netflix console. It makes sense for me. But used the old Xbox account I had, used my Within Crisis email, so separate accounts. I had some jittering issues when I first got into the game, but it seemed stable enough on the Xbox, so I can't really fault it. Got up to level 15 story when you start going around the city states. That's as far as I need to get to really see if the starting cities are stable, and like plays like the PC, plays like the PlayStation. So
Yeah, I'd imagine like this open beta isn't going to be all that long, right? I feel like it's more a stability check than a performance check, right, Tark? I mean, if you had to think about it, right? It's already running on consoles. It ran on the PS3 at one point, for God's sakes. Like, if you can't make it run on a Series S or Series X, then I think there's a problem with your port, and they would have known that by now.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of stability for the game, but also stability for Xbox's ecosystem. What I'm most excited about is when they finally phase out PS4 and say, hey, you got to get a PS5. The one that everyone's going to complain about is the Series S holding the game back. We got to cater to the Series X and Flynn so we can play on that Series S. It's just,
I will say,
I mean,
the game back here.
that's going to be a problem that never goes away, right? For an MMO that's on console, people always going to complain that whatever the oldest console it's able to support is the reason the MMO is being held back.
Yes.
Like, we'll be on the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox, go bone yourself. And they'll be like, oh, the PlayStation 5 is holding this game back.
I will say, 1080p, you don't notice the difference between the PS5 and the Series S. So I don't think the Series S to X comparison will.
Have you tried it 4K at all?
The Series S doesn't go up to that resolution, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So the answer to that question is no. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it locked at 30 frames as well?
It does not tell you. That is the one thing with the console clients. It doesn't give you a FPS counter.
That's where the PS5 you can do performance mode and have 60 frames locked in. So, which is
I didn't notice any feature swaps. The one thing I mentioned the other week on show is all those settings you have to click on. As long as you're an adult account, all those is automatically on, so you don't have to quit the settings.
Oh, that's Final Fantasy 15. That's not what I want. I was trying to see if we had official specs posted anywhere. Yeah, I found some people saying on Reddit what they were able to do, but that's Reddit. So we'll take that with a little bit of grain of salt, and that was Final Fantasy 15 anyway. Hey, if you're playing on the Xbox beta, welcome, right? Like if you've been waiting this long because like that's your primary gaming vessel, we're happy to have you. Like welcome to the game. You have a ton of shit to do. And now's the best time to do it because there's a dead period for a couple more months here until we get the expansion. So take your time, enjoy it, run out some story, do some dungeons, mess around with the classes. If you've been waiting this long and never played on PC or PlayStation, now you're jumping in on the Xbox, welcome. We're sorry it didn't happen earlier, right? We're sorry it didn't happen earlier.
Definitely
I still remember like my primary, obviously I started playing Final Fantasy XI when it launched in the United States here on launch day on the PlayStation 2. That was where I first started playing because my computer was shit then. I couldn't afford my rent, let alone a computer. And so my wife and I would take turns on the PlayStation 2. And then finally we got a computer that could run it okay. Like it wasn't a gaming rig or anything, but it ran it without stuttering and stuff like that. Yeah. And so then my wife and I could play together. And then I migrated to the 360. And that is like, between the PlayStation 2 and the 360, that is where I spent most of my Final Fantasy XI life. Was on the console. So I remember when the ecosystem was all three. And now it's nice to finally have that again. Hopefully now, Tark, that leads to, whatever Final Fantasy's next MMO ends up being, just a universal launch across all existing platforms at the time, which will be dope AF.
Hell yeah. But I expect Sony to be like, no. Here's like $5 billion to make it exclusive for the next 6 years. So, because that's how they do, right?
That is how they do, or at least how they try to do.
They try to do.
Xbox, of course, something we're going to talk more about on Gaming Gumbo this Saturday. Sorry, last Saturday's show got canceled at the very last minute. Troy had some stuff come up he had to take care of, and Zista's out for the next couple of weeks. So it was just Yad and I with just hours to spare to find out whether or not Troy could do the show. We will have the show as normal this Saturday. So we will revisit the Xbox presentation. Xbox kind of abandoning that whole, hey, yeah, we're probably going to have exclusives, but we expect exclusives to become rarer and rarer going into the future. Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush and 2 other titles are headed to PlayStation and other platforms very shortly here. So it's good to see. Like, I like that. I know some people love the console wars, right? And I'm a PlayStation baby. The best games are on PlayStation. I'm an Xbox baby, and the best games are on Xbox. I'm a Switch baby, and Nintendo just does whatever the fuck it wants to do anyway. But I'm a fan of just making things as available as you can. I understand the benefit and the desire for companies like Sony to want to get into bed with Square Enix and have these Final Fantasy VII Rebirth exclusives or timed exclusives or full-blown exclusives on some other things. I understand the desire for that. But I just think this day and age just doesn't support that as a long-term sustainable function anymore with all the options we have. I feel like your financial position is best suited for you if you just throw it on every platform that you can.
Consoles these days do feel like the places where your friends are, where your social groups are, and that's where you stay and you hang out.
It also doesn't help that they're getting so damn expensive, though.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like more and more that pushes you into a camp, right, Tark? Like, what console am I going to choose? They're $500, they're $600. I'm only going to buy one, and maybe I'll get the other one down the line when it's, Model 2, Model 3, and it's discounted a little more, or the Pro version comes out, I'll buy the basic one. But at launch, $600, I'm going to buy one. And at those exact times, that is where the exclusives really have a benefit, right? Is at the beginning of a console's life cycle, launch day, and those first 6 months when people are making the decision, I'm only going to buy one. what titles are on both, because that's going to determine which. Obviously, you have people that are just like, hey, I'm in the Xbox camp. Whatever their next one is, I'm buying that. But most of the gaming audience is going to make a decision on which day one to get. That's when the exclusives really start to benefit you. But hopefully, like Microsoft seems to think, and some insiders in developers seem to think, exclusives are going to like slowly become not a thing over the next 5 to 10 years, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
Yeah, exclusives is the first part of it, and I think it's really going to start transitioning to, we're going to have exclusives, maybe fewer here. We're going to put more out on other platforms. I think the big onus is going to be on where's your digital library at, because if you've been in the PlayStation ecosystem for the last 2 generations, you're going to have all your stuff on PlayStation. It's not going to just transfer over to Xbox if you happen to get an Xbox next generation. So it behooves you to keep with that ecosystem. And you hope that you can maybe then get some games from Xbox into that PlayStation ecosphere and vice versa. So I know Xbox was behind the 8 ball last generation and a little bit this generation too. So having 2 big giants is good for everyone, so that they keep, fighting each other and keep making leaps and bounds, and competing is good for us. So I hope they stay in the game as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the rumors, right, at the Xbox thing, was that they weren't going to make consoles anymore. They put that to bed. They was like, no, we're still making consoles.
Which is good.
Which I agree is a good thing, too. So price definitely a factor, and we'll see what happens. The ecosystem thing's really, that is a good point. And I know we're kind of getting away from Square Enix stuff here. Yeah. But like, that's why Game Pass is very, very interesting to me to watch. I have severe concerns about long-term viability and stability of that ecosphere. As far as, is it financially viable? Is it though? Like, I have concerns with its financial viability long term.
Fair.
With all the day one releases and things like that. And we've kind of talked about this on other shows, right? Where those day one releases probably aren't a huge deal for your big AAA titles. And certainly for your Microsoft internal titles, you're willing to take the day one loss because you want people to sign up for Game Pass. I get it. And those big AAA titles that Microsoft gave that company X dollars to put it day one on Game Pass, great. Yeah, you're probably okay. Indie developers, it's kind of hit and miss, right? Like, we've heard indie developers say that Game Pass was great for them. They got their thing in front of millions of people day one for free, and over the long term, they sucked up sales they probably never would have gotten, because when the game eventually came off of Game Pass, people wanted to keep it as part of their library, so they bought it. But then we've heard the flip side of that too, where we gave away our game for free, and Microsoft gave us some money up front, but ultimately our studio's closing, right? Like, you hear all of these stories go both ways, and I'm not sure. I'm not convinced of the long-term financial viability of Game Pass in its current iteration yet. And it doesn't help that Phil Spencer's a little cagey with numbers when he starts talking about Game Pass anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, total digression. Congratulations, 14 fans playing on Xbox. Hey, if you are brand new to the game, by the way, this is not new to us, but maybe new to you. There's a Final Fantasy starter guide series of videos that Square actually did. There's like 6 videos, or maybe 7, because I think they say the first one's episode 0. So there's like 6 or 7, whatever it is. They have moved those videos now onto the Xbox YouTube channel. So you could check out the Xbox YouTube channel. It's kind of a, neat tongue-in-cheek, narrated voiceover type thing on how to get started, picking classes and stuff like that. It is very cute, and it is well done. Like, if you are totally brand new to the game, these will absolutely get you started and help you initially roll out into Eorzea in a way that kind of makes sense. Not to say that the game doesn't give you a lot of this tutorial stuff, but in the MMO, most of it's written, right? It's a pop-up window with a green dot. and you go ahead and read about that system. So it's a nice visual way you can check these out on the Xbox. I hadn't watched them in forever, Tark, until I put them in the show notes. I was like, I'm going to go back and watch these and see how good they are. And I'm like, yeah, these still hold up. Still hold up.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
I mean, they're not giving you like
we had seen these before. It's like, a year ago. That'd be why my brain's off remembering.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no in-depth like.
Yeah, you're not like getting a dungeon or a trial guides or anything like that. It's just like a overview of city states and making a class and picking a class and stuff like that. Just the basics to get you started. Welcome aboard, friendos. Welcome aboard. Let's move on to some other Square Enix stuff. Rebirth, baby. 1 week. Woo. 1 week. We were talking in chat pre-show. We had Doc Holliday head out to the movie theater to go ahead and see Advent Children. I'm going to have to pull it out sometime this week and throw it on the projector over here and sit back and watch it as well. The Rebirth demo update has been expanded. The Junon area that you have in your menu that you couldn't access, now you can access it. Somebody pre-show was asking if we plan to play it. I'll give my answer right now. I actually do not plan to play it. I don't care about the extra materia for completing it, so it doesn't matter to me. And I don't know if I'm going to have time over the next week to sit down and play it, so I'm just going to, if I get to it, cool, but I'm not planning to. I'll just play it in the game itself. Tark, did you play the demo yet?
The new one, no. And I don't plan to. Like I said last week, I've been.
You didn't even want to watch the trailer.
I'm done with any sort of spoilers. So I'm just ready to go in fresh, hands on. I do have to wait for my collector's edition to get in for me to actually play it. But once it gets here, it's all hands on deck. Let's go.
Flynn, did you check it out yet, or do you plan to?
Did.
Oh, you did? Did you beat it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I played through the demo on normal mode and easy, just because I was curious about the combat differences, which is wildly different. Normal mode, I spent about 2 hours in the demo to defeat the boss. Easy mode, you can get through it in 10 minutes. Just be like straight to the end, kill a boss.
Wait, what? Wait, what? That's a big difference.
It really is. The normal mode feels more like hard mode. It feels like for the normal, they expect you to do the hunts on the map, go around, craft, use the new crafting system to make more potions, more Phoenix Downs, that kind of thing.
That is
just
a big difference.
Some level,
2 hours versus 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. It really is. I was just like, how fast can I get through it on easy mode? And it was literally 10 minutes. I did it before the show. I will say...
so you were like trying to blitz it. Okay.
Yeah, I was just curious, because I spent about half hour with that boss the first time around, had the game over, went back in, changed up my materia. This is after grinding to get some of the materia that I get through the demo, through the chatly missions and stuff. Versus the stock materia, just gun. It is night and day between these. I will say, you guys probably remember this, 7 Remake. When you first look up at the Midgard disc, how terrible quality it was.
Oh yeah, that skybox was...
Upper Junon is modeled, and it looks glorious.
I actually don't know this. Maybe you do. When they added the new portion of the demo, did they go ahead and put the performance improvement in that they were talking about doing?
Yeah, some of the reflections look a lot better, and it's a bit more responsive.
Performance mode actually does what it's supposed to do now?
Performance mode is actually a performance mode.
Yeah, it's actually a performance mode.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, so if you want to check out the demo, go for it. The second part is now available, and that's all you get until 7 days from
Phoenix summon materia.
Yeah.
And another teaser trailer at the end of the demo.
So, Rebirth's a week away. It's time to see when the next one's coming, right? Right?
Yeah.
That's when the next one's coming. Yeah, Naoki Hamaguchi, Rebirth's director, was doing an interview with a YouTuber, Julian Cheze, was asked about the development of the third part of the trilogy. We explained that the team at Square Enix is in kind of the same situation right now with Part 3 as they were when they were finishing development on the first part, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Director said, "Of course, I cannot tell you exactly at what stage we are, but we have already made progress on the script and we are thinking about certain developments. When we got to the end of development for Remake, we started talking about the sequel with writer Nojima-san, and I think we can say we are in the same situation today." And so that kind of suggests that we're probably in for another 4-year cycle, Tark, and that the final portion of the trilogy will come out in 2028. Now, that doesn't mean that's exactly when we can expect it. Maybe it could be a little shorter gap because we've kind of got a little bit less. It depends on how bloated they want to add to it, right?
Sure.
As far as the amount of story that's left, we could maybe see 2027, or maybe they're going to blow it up a bit and see 2029. But yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say we've got about another 4-year wait.
Which is disappointing because I'm going to be so old by then. Ugh,
By then?
I know I'm already old +1 because you're the standard for old, and I'm old +1.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just. Hopefully, I won't have arthritis in my hands by the time we get there. So,
I mean, it could be 3 years, Doc. Could be 3.
good.
Could.
We
I
can
mean, I
hope.
wouldn't hold breath, but could.
Maybe they got some processes streamlined because didn't they move to Unreal Engine 5?
Like the big thing was
yeah.
moving from linear to
Yep.
open world as well.
Yeah.
Well, that too.
We're actually gonna talk about that in a second because, to be fair, reviews are already coming out for the game, and we're not gonna spoil anything like content-wise from anybody's reviews or anything. But people have had their hands on the full version of the game for like 2 weeks now, right? Certain press outlets, Happy has had it for 2 weeks now, stuff like that. So we're seeing full reviews start posting today is kind of, I guess, when their embargo fell, because I saw a bunch go up. And we're going to talk about that open world thing. We won't talk about spoilers, but we will talk about the open world thing in just a moment. Because there's all kinds of 7 stuff to take advantage of. In fact, are you feeling like you need a cookie, Tark? Do you need a cookie?
No, I do, but I'm on a diet.
Do you need a cookie, Flynn?
If I was in the States, I'd love
Yeah,
it.
you got to be in the States for this one.
I was saying in a pre-show, there was absolutely no cross promotion of anything in the UK. We were just like, yeah, the game's coming out, and that's as much as you're getting.
So this is a cross promotion with Insomnia Cookies. And so there's 3 options available. One, obviously, this is going to vary by location and whether they have any more left in your area. But there are 3 options initially available. One is a 12-pack of the standard size cookies. That's $27.75 US.
Jesus.
The other 2 are dipper options. One's a little dipper box with mini chocolate chunk classic cookie options with buttercream or cream cheese icing for a little less than $12. And then there's one that's a little less than $14 for Big Dipper box with 4 classic cookie flavors and either buttercream or cream cheese icing. Both have the cloud box sleeve, and you'll need to select a location near you on the official site to get an idea of which collaboration items are there and if you can order them or if you have to walk in and get them. I have an Insomnia cookies not far from me. I have not checked to see if let's do it right now. Let's check right now.
Do it live.
Oh my goodness, do it live.
This is how we do it.
Insomnia
The
cookies.
Pricing though. I mean, come on, the pricing.
Oh,
Like,
Insomnia cookies is expensive.
did they get pricing, advice from the Girl Scouts? Right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Insomnia cookie. I mean, they're delicious, but they are expensive. They're also doing a sweepstakes link, by the way, where you can enter to win 3 lucky Insomniacs. Will win a physical copy of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on the PlayStation 5. 1 $50 Insomnia Cookies e-gift cards. That's good for Coke. And then 1 Final
Half a cookie.
but they come in and they let you smell the place. One, one, not too much though. Like if you start smelling, they're like, whoa, that was a $50 gift card, buddy.
That's a sexual harassment right there.
And one Final Fantasy knitted chocobo plush. So while I'm here reading that, I'm gonna go ahead and just enter that sweepstakes real quick. All right, so I'm entered there. That's good. That's done. I'm getting all kinds of shit done today on the show.
Oh yeah.
I can't see where I can actually search which location has these promotions. That's very weird.
Just keep your mouth moving so they know you're talking though.
Right.
I will say, did you guys see how big the Ultimania book for Rebirth is going to be?
Well, I'll let you two guys talk about that for a second.
740 pages.
Jesus
for Rebirth.
balls. Wow, that's crazy.
Be interested if we get it in the West, because Ultimaniacs do tend to be a bit weird, if I remember.
All right, let me view the menu here for my store. Oh, they are here.
All right.
Now order them live during the show.
Mike is just gonna walk off. He's got to go get some cookies, and we'll finish the show.
Let's see. Can I do an order on the phone or on the old onlines here? We're gonna get a couple. We'll get 6. I get to pick a dozen of these. Is this what it is? Yeah, a dozen. So it's only $140. That's cool. It's not really $140. We'll pick 6 classic. Yeah, I gotta drop off one of my kids. 3 classic M&M's ones. We'll get. Oh! Look at what red velvet is an extra quarter per cookie. Yeah, then screw your red velvet. I mean, they are delicious, but they are stupid overpriced. Let's add 3 sugar. You know what? We'll just go with 3 M&M. 3 sugar.
No double chocolate mint.
3 chocolate chunk. There's not a double chocolate mint. There's just a double chocolate chunk, which we'll grab 3 of those. All right. So we got 12. No, I don't want those individually wrapped. Add these to order.
Lord.
Individual wrap.
It's $3 to do it.
Holy crap. Well, that reminds me of a place we have in the UK called Millie's Cookies. They just do like these big birthday cookies, like yay big, and yeah, just skyrocket price. Whereas I'll just go to my local Asda, which is like a subsidiary of Walmart, and just get 5 small cookies for a dollar.
Pick up time. We're gonna pick these up. We're gonna pick these up at 9 p.m. tonight. Contact info. My name is Mike Byrne. Suckers.
AKA Magic Man 1.
Yeah. Credit, debit. Yeah, let me just read these numbers out loud real quick. Let me just read these. Do they have gingerbread? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
See, now I'm wanting to insomnia.
Is there one even close to you?
Probably not.
What?
I got crumble cookies, so it's like.
Those are. I don't like. Oh my god, this show's so fucking off the rails.
This is what we want.
I don't like crumble cookies.
You don't like crumble, huh?
No, they're massive, and like I just don't. I'm not a huge like sugar guy, right? Like I'll order these, and there'll be a dozen. I'll maybe eat one, and maybe if there's any left, have another one 2 days from now. Like, I'm just not a sweets or pop kind of guy. It's like, that's every once in a while. And, like, crumble cookies are like this. They're as big as my face. And
they're huge.
And when you have the icing on them, it's just like, oh, my God, I might as well just lick a sugar bowl. Like, this is way too much.
So my work for special events will get crumble cookies because you could just take a piece from several different ones. And it's,
All right, my order has been confirmed. I can pick it up tonight at 9 p.m. So,
oh my lord,
there we go. Crumble are criminally underdone 90% of the time too. Yours has it too. Yeah. Well, I mean, I went. There's my confirmation order or my confirmation email. Thanks for ordering. So I now have the cloud box, the sleeve. There we go.
I could
Keep
try
an eye
to
just do it
order it
live.
and have
for
it
the
shipped.
image.
Yeah,
Says
just
I
do it
can
live
ship.
on stream. Yeah, go ahead and do your
Oh, my
order.
Lord.
In fact, like if you don't now, Faye, you don't even have to stream. I'll just get in my car and turn my phone on, and we'll all go pick up my insomnia cookies together.
Let's do it. Let's go fully off the
This
rails.
is
Yeah.
the cookie episode. Here we go.
Yeah. By the way, if you are just getting into Rebirth, I can't imagine there's too many of you, but there's going to be some that didn't play the original remake and are now going to play Rebirth. There is a Rebirth tips and tricks guide on Square Enix's official site. It's actually not too bad. Like Tark, I didn't see anything in here that like if you didn't play remake, you didn't already know.
Yeah, it's a starter course. This is how the game works. I mean, you're gonna go through tutorials and stuff. The whole Nibelheim section is gonna be a tutorial. So, just playing the initial section is gonna teach you how to play the game. But I mean, if you want a little heads up, a little refresher, yeah, take that.
I'm gonna spoil like there's like 10 tips, and I'm gonna spoil like 7 of them here because they keep reiterating the same things. Your ATB is important. Stagger is very, very important, and synergy attacks are very, very important. That's like 6 of their 10 points.
The synergy is the new one.
So is
That's the
pressure.
new one. Yeah,
Pressuring your opponents is quite important.
Well, that's part of stagger.
that's part of the whole stagger mechanic. What are you guys thinking about the? I know you're probably not like reading reviews just to be a little leery of spoilers being out there, but like I'm sure you've Googled and seen scores and stuff like that. What are you thinking about what you see so far, Tark?
I haven't seen any scores. Again, I've been trying to like be hands off because it's so close. I want to have my own reviews. I want to make my own thoughts and judgments on it. So,
so once you see a score, you can't possisly make your own opinions.
Well, yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm dumb like that sometimes. You know, it's like I become.
I will say this, that I am seeing, obviously, most reviews are pretty glowing. I am seeing kind of like the same 2 things crop up when it starts talking about quote unquote negatives. Not that any of the reviews are like bashing the shit out of these things, but when, like, I wasn't quite a fan of this, I'm seeing the same 2 things pop up. One is actually the combat still. Like, it is still as divisive as it was in Remake. It is still divisive, Flynn, on the whole, you should have just made this pure action combat a la Final Fantasy XVI, or you should have just made this pure turn-based a la older Final Fantasies. This kind of hybrid system really still is divisive, depending on who is doing the review. And then the other one is there are open world aspects to the game, but it's not an open world. The way most people are describing it is like your big story beats and your main narrative is pretty linear. And then in those in-between moments when you're doing side quests and, mini games and stuff like that, that is more explore the world at your own pace and go do those things. So it's kind of a pseudo open world. And the gripe that I see coming with that is, ironically, that there is so much to do, but is it worth doing it? And taking up all that time. I have seen reviewers that have logged 90 plus hours on the title, completing all the side stuff, and then walking away like on Polygon's in review, kind of saying, I don't even know if I love this game or hate it. It just seemed like I don't know if this type of game at 90 hours of all kinds of smaller side stuff, some of it good, some of it not good. Like, I just don't know if that fits my lifestyle anymore. I'm not skipping school to play a game, right? I'm a grown-up that has to do other things still. This is from Todd Harper over at Polygon. But I am seeing that in other reviews as well, Flynn.
Yeah, there was one headline that stood out to me. I haven't clicked on any reviews, just looking for news earlier, just saw the titles. One was, when is big too big when it comes to the Final Fantasy VII universe? They seem to be cramming so much into this that they could have probably wrapped up Rebirth and Game 3 with the amount of datedly use it for side content.
Yeah. And yeah, somebody brought up Metacritic just
Yeah,
so
93,
to give, it's a
94.
90 it's a 93 right now. Yeah, it's a 93, 97% positive reviews out of 115 in the positive category. 119 critic reviews in, but 4 of them are not technically finished yet. So out of 115 reviews, 93 is the score at the moment. So we're off to a good start.
Yeah.
It's making me worried about Game 3 with how much content they want to pack into this one.
Yeah.
That it's either going to feel so dated and so samey in the third game, or it's just going to feel barren because they'll have stripped some of that out to focus more on the story.
What's going on with Nier Automata?
So they have hit 8 million sales.
That's a big number.
And they've
that's-
also done some Yoko Taro weirdness by making some wine. And what I mean
That's
by
so
this
weird.
is they got 2 different wines. You got the number 2 type B and the number 9 type S. And the wine barrels used for this were kept in separate rooms and played different sets of music. So the 2B set was being played The Sound at the End, Rebirth and Hope, Girls' Memories, Crumbling Lines, Visual 1.1a, and Way to the World. Whereas the 9S side was Widespread Disease, City Ruins, Rays of Light, Faltering Prey, Dawn Breeze, Copy City, and Way to the World again. Just to enhance the wine with the sounds of the Nier universe. Which I'm just wondering, after you drink this, will your memories of the wine fade in pure Yoko Taro fashion?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens. It's exactly what happens. You were talking about the Rebirth World book. You mentioned it earlier, but there's some things that people are finding in there that may be turning into conspiracy theories. Little conspiracy theories, Flynn, like on Cloud's lineage.
Yes. So this started becoming a thought pattern when Ever Crisis first came out, that Glenn could be Cloud's father. So Audrey over at Ataki Kimoji was reading through the world book for Rebirth, and the main notes they found is Cloud uses Dad's wallet, finds 2,000 gil inside. His mother had a wallet with 2,000 gil inside. And during the event of First Soldier, you find out that Glenn owes Matt 4,000 gil. So there's sort of similarities along with other different bits, and it just descends into the translations of Cloud's father disappearing, not actually being dead, depending on the Japanese or English translation of the game. And yeah, it just keeps becoming maybe a bit more obvious that there's this sort of connection since First Soldier was 15 years, I think, before the event of 7.
What means that
Go ahead, Tar.
Glenn would have to have done his mom like before the events of First Soldier. Because then he like 17,
canonically,
18
when
by the time he
Glenn-
goes to.
Yeah, when Glenn left, when Cloud's dad left, Cloud was a young person at the time.
Whatever.
Okay, just yeah,
Around
weird.
6 years old.
Hey, Game Rant put up another list this week, and I put in here. Neither of you peeked at this, right?
Nope.
I put in here. Don't look at this. It's the best Square Enix game from every year in the 2000s. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these, and they are very specific, right? They rated them like 10 through 1, but it's literally just based on time. Like number 10 is 2000, number 9 is 2001, number 8 is 2002, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not going to go through all of these because some of them like some of them are like the best by default for that time period.
This was the only Square Enix game that year.
Right. So, but I do want to go through a couple of these. So let's jump to, I'm going to jump to, I think this one. No, I'm going to jump to 2004. Okay. So Square games that came out in 2004 according to Wikipedia. So it might not be totally complete, but the main dogs will be here. Dragon Quest V, Junk Metal, Dragon Quest characters, Final Fantasy 1 and 2, Dawn of Souls, Full Metal Alchemist 2, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Dragon Quest 8, and Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. There was a street special thing, so that really doesn't count. Which one do you think they gave the award to, Tark?
Out of all of that, Dragon Quest 8.
Flynn?
Yeah, it has to be Dragon Quest 8. That was the only...
Just to have a different answer, I'm going to say Chain of Memories.
It's Dragon Quest 8. Like, Dragon Quest
Chain
8
of Memories.
absolutely killed it. Here's an interesting one, though, for you. This is 2005. So that was a category that I particularly think was like a gimme, right? When you look at 2004's lineup, it has to be Dragon Quest 8. Here's an interesting one. 2005. Radiata Stories, Musashi Samurai Legend, Egg Monster Hero, Romancing Saga, Front Mission Online, Drakengard 2, Full Metal Alchemist 3, Grandia 3, Heavy Metal Thunder, Code Age Commanders, Dragon Quest Heroes, Front Mission Online, Final Fantasy IV Advance, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Front Mission 5, Scars of the War. Who took 2005?
That's a lot of them.
That's a lot.
God,
It's
I think...
between two in my brain.
Go ahead, Flynn.
Either Grandia 3 or Kingdom Hearts.
I was going to say Radiata Stories or Kingdom Hearts 2, and I would have to probably lead towards Kingdom Hearts 2, even though it's much maligned.
It is Kingdom Hearts 2. And I thought it would lose out and again, this is just some person's list, right? It's just Gamer Rant doing their thing. I honestly thought that there was an argument for Front Mission in there.
Front Mission 5?
Because Front Mission Online.
I never played that one.
Because it doesn't have to be an RPG. That's not the list. This is just best Square Enix games of those years. And so I thought there was an argument for that. And then finally, I want to do 2006 for you and see if we can get this. Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII, Fantasy Earth Zero, Children of Mana, Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, Final Fantasy XII, Final Fantasy XI, Dragon Quest, another offshoot one. It's not going to be that. Valkyrie Profile 2, Mario Hoops 3-on-3, Final Fantasy III for the DS, Project Slipheed, Final Fantasy V Advance, Final Fantasy VI Advance, and Final Fantasy Fables, Chocobo Tales, Dawn of Mana, Dragon Quest Monsters, Joker.
Ugh.
That's a rough little segment there.
That is rough.
I want to say 11 out of that list.
You said Valkyrie Profile and Lenneth. I was like, that one. And then you're like, 2.
Then I was like Final Fantasy 12 and 11 and 3 on the
11.
DS and 5
God.
and 6 on the Advance.
I'm going to have to go with 11.
They gave it to 12.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I mean, even setting aside my nostalgia for Final Fantasy XI, like setting that aside, I still think Final Fantasy XI beats 12 as far as best Square Enix games in 20. Not that 12 is bad. I enjoyed a lot of aspects of 12.
It would be number 2, which is great.
Although, looking back, we were playing a very inferior version of the game. Like, now if you play the Zodiac version, that is immensely better. It's like immensely. But I don't know. They gave it to 12. Take a look at the list over at Game Rant. Let us know what you think on some of those in the comments. Let's head over and do Love It or Leave It. Love It or Leave It is the way we end every episode of the Relic Grind here. It's where I give you a question, something Square Enix related. Could be a game, could be a feature in a game, a press release, something they did or said, or even just tangentially related to Square. And I ask you whether you love it, want more of it, or leave it, never see it again. And I figure, this is a little slow period right now in the Final Fantasy XIV world, so let's have a fun one, gents. I want to know the Final Fantasy character you love and couldn't do without, and the Final Fantasy character that you would just leave if given the chance. Go ahead, Tark.
The one I would love and keep is near and dear to my heart because it was part of my first Final Fantasy. And I love 4 so much. So I'm going to love and keep and hold on to Cecil. He's just a man. Grew. And he's an alien. He's an alien. He's not even part of that planet. So I'm going to keep him. The one I'm going to ditch, though, because he's just so bland. And he wasn't compelling at all to me in 10. And I'm going to dump Seymour because he was not compelling to me as a villain. Like, he's just whatever.
Oh, you don't like Seymour? Oh.
No, he's so dumb. It's just.
All right, Flynn, what you got?
But my leave hit is also in 10/10 duelist Walker.
Oh, wow.
Blasphemy.
Fucking takes right there.
And Final
Why?
Fantasy ain't the one I'd love. Funny enough, would be in Squall.
Why Waka?
He just
Brother.
he just irritates
It's
me.
the accent, isn't it?
It's because I know the voice actor is Bender, and I want a Bender performance in Walker.
Who's your favorite? Squall.
Squall. Yeah.
You know Squall's dead. Right?
Final Max.
Squall's
Final Max.
dead.
All dump Squall.
Squall's
Go
dead,
Final
right?
Max. Dump Squall.
Okay, so mine is my love it is going to be Vincent. I mean, I love vampires in general,
fair.
but I love Vincent and his backstory. And I mean, Dirge of Cerberus is kind of a fucking awful game, but Vincent is badass, and so I'm going to go Vincent. My leave it though. My leave it, I think, and it's unfortunate because it's not this character's fault, right? I think my leave it has to actually be Luna Freya.
Fair.
She is just like such a shoehorned, get a female in here, give her a romance story that doesn't freaking go anywhere anyway. Well, I mean, it does if you play, if you like read the book and all the extras that if you watch Kingsglaive and then you play the game and then you read the book, but like self-contained in Final Fantasy XV, Luna Freya is pretty fucking useless. And it's not even her fault. She's such a shoehorned, hey, we need a heroine and let's have her fall in love with the hero.
Not gonna lie.
Baron saying Hildebrand keep, Alpha no gone. Irritating. Final Max saying dump Squall but keep Locke. I think that would be a lot of people that would do that one. Dump Squall and keep Locke.
You know, Mike,
They're all wrong.
hey, not that Vincent is a bad choice. Vincent is an excellent choice. I thought you would have kept Shantoto.
Oh, I love Shantoto. Yeah, like my love for Shantoto it burns.
Knows no bounds.
It is, yeah. It is the only not Taru. What am I thinking of?
She's a
Taru. Sorry, I was confusing my 14 and 11 little races. It's the only Taru I'd take to my bed. That's for sure. I'd sleep with that little potato. I love her.
Yeah.
I absolutely love her.
Burn your face off.
Faye is choking. You can't see her right now, but she is literally choking
Absolutely
on the
broken.
Discord camera. That's going to do it for us here today on the Relic Grind. We'll, of course, be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with another episode. Don't miss Gaming Gumbo this Saturday at 7 p.m. We're catching up on all the latest in gaming and all the streams. If you're live right now with us in chat, don't go anywhere. Freshly done from choking, Faye is on the line, and she'll be streaming after the show. What's up, Faye?
What up? No big deal. Just trying not to die over here. That was a great line. I was not expecting to hear this evening, and I'm here for the chaos of the night. Y'all filled this out really nicely.
Yeah. I mean, there was some cookie ordering. Yeah, Final Max now onto the cookie stream.
Yes.
It's time for cookies.
cookies.
What are you playing? Are you playing a game or like are we just ordering
well, we're-
shit online?
we're
Gold
going-
is cookie free, right?
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to have to do the cookie order because, unfortunately for me, what makes it more tempting is delivery is available in my area.
Yeah, it
So
was not in
I don't
mine.
even
I
have to-
checked.
I don't even have to leave there. There's
I
some
checked because
perks
I
of
was going to
being about
try to
where I
get
am.
them here while we were on the
Yeah.
show.
So we'll try again and see if we get cookie delivery on stream while we play Baldur's Gate 3, and I beg forgiveness from a god that it didn't go well last time. But we're gonna try again. We got it this time.
Sounds good. Chat, don't go anywhere. Give us a minute or two to just relabel things. We'll go dark, get it all set up for Faye, and she'll be right back. Until next week, Flynn, where can everybody find you?
You can find me getting excited that I pour in my order for the Final Fantasy XIV.
Whoa, buddy. Whoa. Hey, I don't think anybody wants to find you getting excited. Settle down.
Never.
Settle
my Pocket
down.
Titan.
All right, you just keep petting your rock there.
Exactly.
What about
You
you,
can find
Tark?
me at Flynn and
Famous
Skull all
potato.
right now.
You
Tark,
can find me Twitter, YouTube, all at Turkov Gaming as I get excited for the countdown to Rebirth.
My God.
You can also find me here Saturday nights on Radio Check Radio as we finish this week. Control. We're down to the DLC. We're almost there.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at Magic Man 1 as I get turned on by Black Mage Potatoes. Until next time, gang, make sure you're following us at RC Radio so you'll know every time we go live with a stream or we're hanging out playing Final Fantasy trading cards and any other game. Stay safe. We'll see you on the servers.